Hello, I hope you're doing well. It is I lost. It's a Friday. Hooray, at last. uh, so today we're going to be picking up from where we left off. We're going to just go through the early parts of the game again, like we did the first time. We're going to make sure that we know what's going on in all the places that we went to but didn't take good notes in. And I thought of another thing that we should actually do while we're doing this. The first time around, we didn't know until very near the end that there were hidden walls in Ultima 4. So I'm thinking actually what we should do is we should also like see if we can get like hidden places documented, because there might be people in those hidden places and we can maybe talk to them. So let's do all that. I'm going to just do some housekeeping and then we're going to get going here. Okay. Housekeeping. And then let me get the game up and going. Okay. So let's kind of very quickly talk about what I want to do. I want to just very quickly walk around the entirety of town. And I want to see if any of these places, none of them should have hidden walls. This is not the kind of place that should have hidden walls. Yeah, I don't see any hidden walls there. And I don't see any hidden walls here. Okay, cool. This is where, if there were hidden walls, I would expect them. Everywhere else, not so much. Yeah, I don't see any here, and this is the edge of town. And we know that this is the edge of town, so I'm gonna say that there's no hidden walls here. Okay, so one thing I want to do in the spreadsheet is I just want to update Moonglow to make a note that we have actually formally checked out all of Moonglow and we know that there's no hidden walls. Moonglow, no hidden walls. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do, because we added in the Lyceum, after the current sheet, yeah, sure. After we checked out Moonglow, we checked out the Lyceum. And what I'm going to do, actually, which seems sort of counterintuitive, is I'm going to start adding the name of the place at the top of the spreadsheet. Peru 591 says, how goes your quest? And the answer is slowly. So at the beginning of the game when we started playing it, I took terrible notes. And the first 4 places that we visited, which is to say we visited Moonglow, the Lyceum, because we started off on Verity Isle, because I forced us into being a mage. and I just didn't know what I was doing. So when I made notes, they were very terrible. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to rectify my terrible notes now. And we're also going to look for hidden walls, because that's a feature of Ultima 4 that I only realized way down the road. We were in a place, I think it was Empath Abbey, in fact, and someone was like, hey, you need to go and talk to this bard, and they were like, in a secret spot, and I was like, are you serious? And that was like town, out of 13 it was town 9, so we have to actually circle the world around again, circle around the world and go and check everywhere for hidden places. So the answer is slowly. I'm really enjoying it though. This feels like genuinely a ultimate sort of vacation, because it's just very laid back. There's nothing too stressful happening in this game. It is all just go and find information, and once you found the information, you know, make use of it. And that's the extent of the game. And I think it's a really interesting design. I think there's too much of this design. And that when we talk about this at the end, one of the things I'm going to say about Ultima 8, Ultima 4, Pro 591 says cool, take your time. Great job so far. So to sort of give you an idea, I've been playing it much like you would have played it in the 1980s. So that revelation that there were hidden walls was like an oh no moment, because it meant I had to go back through everywhere and look over everything again. But to give you some indication of where we are now, we're at hour 30. This stream will take us to 30 hours of consistently playing the game. And I think that's about right for a first time playthrough of Ultima 4. I think it probably takes between 30 and 50 hours to play it if you just don't know what you're doing, because there's so many disparate bits of information everywhere. And if you weren't keeping good notes, keeping everything connected is also kind of difficult. So I can understand why. So at the back of the box, when they were trying to sell it to us, one of the funny things that they said was, oh, there's 100 to 200 hours of gameplay. That's not an endorsement, Origin. Like, some people want that, but most people don't want a game to go for 100 to 200 hours. But I can kind of see how, if you were touching grass a lot in this game and just hanging out and enjoying it, it could take 100 to 200 hours, you know. So, alright, you meet a sleepy god. So this is part of the problem. In the Lyceum, we just didn't get proper and good information because I was taking very bad notes at that point. So we need to ask this guy his name. He says, I'm a god. This isn't probably going to give us very good information, but I do want to talk to him anyway. Job, sorry. Guard the gate, guard the baron, guard the baroness. Job. He says, guard the gate, guard. Guard the baroness. And watch the towers. Now, when we came here initially and we started talking to this guy, I thought, oh, well, we need to follow up on gate, baron, baroness, and towers. And it turns out that he just has nothing to say about any of those things. So, you know, it's fine, but we're going to do the whole 9 yards and talk to him properly. Tell me about your health. Very sleepy. So, he says, tell me about God. I have been here for hours. Tell me about the gate. Yeah, see. Baron. And then he can't help me with the Baron. He told me about the Baron, but he can't help me with the Baron. And the first time we came through here and we saw this, I was like, that's very confusing. They're guarding the Baron. Why didn't they talk to us about the Baron? And the answer really is there's just a limited amount of memory in Ultima 4's memory space for, you know, this kind of thing. So they didn't allocate anything to extraneous sentences. Like, they assumed that you'd walk around the Lyceum, you'd find the Baron and the Baroness, and you'd talk to them. So Baroness will have the same response. Baroness. And the towers. Okay. Towers. Sure. Okay. So I assume that this guy is going to have the same response. So name, a job, and we're just going to say bye because there's nothing happening here. Now this was the first guy where we got interesting information in Lyceum. This is the greeter. You meet the stately wizard. His name is Timus. Okay, and his job is, he is the welcome guy. Job, I welcome thee. And your help. Oh. Very well, thanks. Okay, so he says welcome. Yes, welcome to Lyceum, the Keep of Truth. The Keep of Truth. Oh. Oh my god. To the Lyceum. The Keep of Truth. And now he's going to ask us a question. And he says, know he how many cities follow the principles of truth? And initially when we answered this question, we said no. So I'm just going to stick to that, because he's going to tell us to find out. Travel and learn. But the answer is that it turns out that there's 4, because inadvertently we blurted out 4 to this man straight after we did all this, and he just tells us more information. So we're going to say 4, and we should get a response out of here. The dungeon altar rooms need 4 stones each. The dungeon altar rooms need 4 stones each. Okay. Tell me about dungeon. Tell me about altar. Tell me about stone. Okay. Anyway, so if we go through this welcome question again, yes, and then we say how many 4, and then he gives us this. That's kind of how you get that. So, sure. I think we're done with him. I'm not too sure. You meet a person in thought. Your name is I am a truth seeker. And your job? I seek to know truth. Truth? Sorry, let's start with health first. I am in a meditative state. Oh. Oh my god. That's important because that's one of the things that we need to learn about. So we're going to ask him about truth first. The principle on which I meditate. Okay, and he's mentioning this idea of principle that I cannot help you with. And then he also mentioned meditate. Meditate at each shrine. Shrine for 1, 2, and 3 minutes. Then shalt thou know the paths of goodness. Okay, So he mentioned the shrine. He can't tell me what's that. Pass. Pass. And goodness. Okay. I think that's the only thing we need out of him. Okay. Sure. Let's talk to this person here. I am a truth seeker. So this is the same set of notes here. If we follow up with him on job and health and truth and meditate, we will get the same answers. So name, job. I seek to know the truth, which is exactly the same as what we got before. His health is I am in a meditative state, and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to follow this through. I'll just see if all of these, you meet a person in thought. Name, yeah, they're also a truth seeker, and then I believe that this person is also a truth seeker, so sure. Let's talk to this guy. No response, sure. Up here, I believe, is the Baron and the Baroness. Okay, so this is blocked, and I guess in theory we could unlock this now because we have a key. I'm gonna try that because we have magic keys, and I think magic keys are exactly for this sort of situation. But I'm a little bit worried about the guards, so I went out, we saved, and we're gonna come back in. I'm gonna try and unlock this door. What is the unlock key? I've never done this before. Keyboard reference. That's J. Oh, sorry. J. There. Okay. Not here. Really? Oh, it doesn't want me to jimmy this lock? Really? Did I just lose keys? I did, actually. The first key, because we had 96 keys. The first key that oh, okay, that's why. I'm an idiot. We've never been here. This is the library. Okay. I'm gonna search. Because I'm hoping that it tells me about a book or something that we can read. Oh. This guy's going to hem me in a second. Okay, cool. So there's nothing there. Talk to this guy. We've never spoken to these people, so this is actually pretty good. Because we didn't have keys that we could use to jimmy locks with. So, you meet a tall, agile man. Name? He said Lord Terrence. Tell me about your job, Lord Terrence. I'm the librarian. Okay, and your health? I am well. Tell me about librarian. Okay, so herein is the largest store of knowledge in Britannia, except the Codex. Herein is the largest store of knowledge in Britannia, except the Codex. And now he's going to ask us a question. Art thou looking for a particular book? No. Well, we don't know. Because he's already told us that he doesn't have the Codex. So if we're looking for a particular book, then we don't know what the book is. So I'm going to say no for right now. No? Feel free to browse. And we did, and we didn't come up with anything. So he says knowledge. Britannia. Codex? Oh, I'm surprised. I thought that he would actually tell me a little bit about the codex, but okay, book. He doesn't know about books as well, browse, for sure. Okay. I guess, again, here, I'm gonna write a connection note about Lord Terence, because I have a feeling that we need to come back to him at some point. He is in... Oh, you see, this is a problem. Because previously, we didn't know that there was stuff that we had to worry about in... in Lyceum. So my decent notes about connections start with Shapiro in Britain, and we don't have anything for the Lyceum at all because we didn't know that we needed to do connections. So I'm just going to insert a whole bunch of stuff at the beginning of this spreadsheet so we know what we're looking at. Lyceum. I'm probably spelling Lyceum incorrectly. Hold on. I am an idiot. Yes, okay, I am spelling it correctly. This is Lord Terence. Is it actually Lord Terence? Yes. If I'd been smart, I would have copied that, but I'm not smart today. Today is not a smart day. There we go, yes. And Lord Terence was talking about this idea of a book, and we don't know which book we need, so we are just going to make a note that we should come back here, and we should return when we know which book to ask for. Sure. Oh, okay. Oof. For a minute there, I nearly thought I knocked out my notes. Peru591 says, but it is a fun day because you're playing this game. Oh, I'm glad. Did you say something that... Oh, no. Oh, okay, thank God. I thought for a minute that you said something because your sentence was sort of halved. To me, anyway. That's the way I read it. And I thought that because my auto moderation is very strict, and unfortunately it will eat things that people say that are perfectly innocent. So I was a little worried that had happened. But okay, cool. So we've got this guy over here. There are Astro. I like Ultima 4 quite a lot. I don't, so I'm gonna say what I think feels like a controversial thing to people who like Ultima. I think that Ultima 3 as a game is slightly better than Ultima 4. I think Ultima 4 is a little too much. It's the kind of game where I can understand why people fell in love with it, because probably what happened with a lot of people who did play it is that they just had a long, endless summer where, you know, they had the let's call it 100 or 200 hours to just sit and absorb the game, right? And because there were no guides at that point in time, and because you only had one game at a time, that's a very important thing about that era. Because you only had one game at a time, the fact that the game just went on forever was actually perfect that summer, because you'd go out and you'd hang out with your buddies, and then you'd come home and you'd have dinner, and the first thing you'd do is you'd sit down at your computer and you go, okay, well, let's get some stuff done in Ultima 4, right? And assuming you were doing what I'm doing, the only thing I'm not doing with this run is making maps. But assuming that you were doing all those things, it would be a very super absorbing game, where I think Ultima 3 is a little bit more straightforward. Like, there's a terseness and a conciseness about Ultima 3 that that I think is just, as a game, a little bit better than Ultima 4. I think Ultima 3 is a little bit better structured as well. There's a lot of like weird loose ends in Ultima 4, and if you're not following them up, in other words, if you're not taking good notes, you're gonna get so stuck, right? Whereas Ultima 3, the game loop is very simple and it's very easy to understand. And once you've got the idea of what the game loop is, you just execute, right? The game loop in Ultima 4 feels like there's lots of layers, and some of them are very abstract. Like, it's not clear when Sir Hawkwind tells you where your virtues are at, how far along the path you are, for example. And that's some of the obfuscation that the game does. Now, it's obfuscating because it wants to seem like more than it is, but in a video game, you don't want too much obfuscation. If it's a number that you're working towards, having the number is actually helpful, right? And this game sometimes likes obscuring that kind of thing. And so I think that as a game, and I understand that this is a controversial notion for people who like Ultima 4 specifically, I think that as a game, having played 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the modern era, I have a slightly better appreciation for 3 than 4. Okay, so this is Astro. Tell me about your job. They do research. Tell me what you have. Why, I'm fine. You too, I hope. Tell me about research. Okay. That I cannot help you with. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay, well, I guess he doesn't know anything about anything, so goodbye. Tell me about books, maybe. Tell me about the principles. Tell me about the virtues. Tell me... Virtues. Tell me about the shrines. Tell me about the mantras. Okay, well... Again, I don't know if Estro has something important that we need to know about. Oh god, before I actually leave this area. Because I don't know if we're going to ever be able to... Well, no, we'll be able to come in here again. We're just going to subsume a key every time we do it. I just want to make sure that there's no hidden doors. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any. Estro, could you do me a solid and get out of the way, please? Buddy, thank you. I don't see any. You know what I'm gonna do just to make my life a little bit easier? I'm gonna bump against every wall. Because I know what to look for to find a secret door at this point. But I'm worried that I'm going to, in my poor eyesightedness, miss what we're looking for. Oh god. I didn't mean to peer at a gem. That's a gem that we just wasted. Great, cool. Talk. You meet an old druid who looks strangely familiar. Tell me about your name. There, Father Antos. We should ask about Brother Antos and Sister Antos because we've met them now. So tell me about your job. I hold great knowledge. Okay, and your health? Old and frail. I've seen many quests. Old and frail. I've seen many quests. Father Antos was an Ultima 2, so yes, he is old and frail at this point. Art thou on the quest? Yes. May thou succeed. Okay, so he holds great knowledge. Tell me about that. Knowledge. What is it you seek? Okay, so I guess there's, again, a variety of things that we can ask him. I don't know how much of this bears any fruit. So let's start with the principles. The virtues. The shrine. The mantra. Avatar. The codex. Opus. Okay. So again, I think that this is a very specific thing that we need to talk to Father Atos about. So let's do this again. What is it thou you seek? Okay. So again, I'm just gonna go into the connection spreadsheet. We're gonna fill this in because I'm pretty sure that Father Antos has a thing that we need to get from him. We asked about knowledge. And we got a very specific answer back that didn't really help, but okay. What is it you seek? We need to ask them a very specific question. Okay. Let's get back to here. He said they're old and frail's old frail quests. Oh, interesting. I thought that would actually result in something. Okay, so bye. Oh, I forgot. We were going to ask him about his brother and his sister. Okay, bye. Let's just have a look here again. I don't see any hidden walls. Yeah, I don't see anything that should be hidden. Okay, so we came in here initially when we were starting out. This is the Britain Observatory, and there's a button on this wall. Okay, so let's talk to this man. You meet a wise old sage. Name? They are Palomar. Tell me about your job. I am an old wizard, but have much to show. Okay, and your health? My bones ache, but my mind is sharp. Okay, so he says that he's an old wizard. Okay. Spells? Since he's a wizard? Okay, well, there's nothing we can do with him, I guess. But if we search, where is it? It was here, right? Yes. You see a knob on the telescope marked A to P. You select A. Now, I suspect that if we peered into a gem, we would find that this over here, specifically, is Castle Britannia. This is just the like tiny mini layout of Castle Britannia. And from this, I think, what you're supposed to suspect is that there are lots of hidden walls and doors in Castle Britannia, which I think is true because if we think about it over here in the lower left-hand corner, that's Sir Hawkwind, and then over at the top there's the cook, and then above that there's a treasure room, and then to the right of that is a spot that we've never gotten to, right? And over here there's a whole section that we've never been up because we never visited up there. We didn't know if we could get into there. So I think that what this is supposed to clue you into, this particular telescope that we're looking through, is it's supposed to give you clues as to, oh, if you didn't know that there were hidden doors and walls, you should be checking for them. But at the time when I looked at this, I didn't know which place we were looking at because it was the second place we went to, and I was like, we've never been to any of these areas. I don't know what I'm looking at. But now that I've seen this, I can probably comfortably say that yes, this is in fact Castle Britain. And if we use the telescope again and we go like B, again, this is just another town somewhere that we've been to. I think this is actually the Lyceum. Yeah, and so here you can see that this is supposed to clue you into there's a door there, and you can go at the back and you can get these books on the library. There's the throne room, and then there's a hidden room off to the right which probably has treasure. So I think it's trying to clue you into the idea that there is stuff that can be explored that isn't super obvious, and the telescope's supposed to like hint you towards that. S and then C and so on and so forth, right? I'm not going to super belabor this point. The point is that there's this here. This, in fact, is Empath Abbey, and this was what clued me into the fact that there was that there were walls and doors that you could go into. Now we've never been to the right out of Empath Abbey to this lot of folks here, but now that we have keys, we can actually go out because there's just a door that leads out into the open grove over there. Because people are telling us we need to go to the grove. So at some point we need to go back to Empath Abbey and we need to talk to the people there. So this was actually the place that made me go, wait a second, hidden things. Oh no. So search D. I don't recognize this spot. I don't recognize this spot. Search E. This looks like Moonglow. And as you can see here, there's just nothing secret in Moonglow, right? Oh, you know what's actually interesting about Moonglow? It's giving us hints about the fact that these are chests, because now that we've seen them, we can actually guarantee that the squares, the white squares that we keep seeing in rooms, are chests. So we can now guarantee that. F. I don't know if I recognize this place. I kind of do. Because we've been here before, but I don't know. Oh, this is you. Because look, here's the. No, it's not you, because you had the jail cells on the left. But there's an N here, and there's rooms over there, and I do recognize that. This bridge over here is very interesting in this spot, because I don't think we've ever encountered what was on the right there. So maybe we do need to visit this place, because we haven't actually done that. Search G. This looks to me like Buccaneer's Den. But I mean, I could be very horribly wrong. Search 8. This I think is you. Yes, because there's the 2 prison cells. Sure, that's you. S-I. This is a place we've never been. And the reason I say that we've never been here before is because this looks like, over here, it looks like mountain tile. And we haven't come across a city that starts off with water on the left. So I don't think we've been here. I want to say that this is maybe somewhere on Abyss Island. Search J. We've never seen this before either. No, we have. That's a lie. This is Trinsic. Oh, this isn't water. These are streets. Okay. Those are streets. So let's just look at I again. It's possible that we've been here, but I don't know. Okay. I don't know where this is. I know that we've seen it. No, I know where this is because the Ankh is here. And then... So, where have we seen an Ankh in a city? I think that was Monarch. Or Geelong. It's one of the two. This is Magentia. We can tell because the broken bridge is here. And this is the spot where there was a little wizard over there. I remember this town. Okay, cool. I don't remember which town it is, but I do remember it. And I do remember this because there's water all around, and we walked across here and we walked over there. This is not Buccaneer's Den. No, it might actually be this might be Buccaneer's Den, because over here is the guild shop on the upper right hand corner. Oh. I don't recognize. No, I do recognize this. This is not Empath Abbey. This is the other weird place that's like Empath Abbey. It might be. It's not Scarborough. It was further along. It might be Pause. I think it is Pause. Oh, there's a little hidden room in here that we didn't know about in Pause. Interesting. And then P. Okay. This might be. This might be on Abyss Island because we've never seen. I don't think we've seen this layout before. Okay, that's actually very instructive now that we know what we're looking at. Okay. So let's go here. So like here, for example, if we look there, there's a hidden wall here. And then there's just a guy guarding treasure. So if we talk to this guy, you meet a tall, strong guard. Name? No. Catriona. And so this is what I mean. I think that the telescope is set up to clue you into the fact that there are hidden spots like this. And we had never been in here. So we know that now there is a hidden wall in Lycaeum. And that leads to the treasury. Okay, that's very good. Tell me about your job, Catriona? To watch the treasures. How's your health? Very good. Tell me about the treasures. The treasures are of great value. Tell me about the value of the treasure. Yes, much gold. And they are going to ask us a question. Dost thou intend to steal? No. No. Good, you had me worried. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would be worried because we just burst in here without knocking or saying anything, so sure. Tell me about gold. Tell me about steel. Tell me about worry. Okay, I guess we're done here. But this is, I think, why the telescope is set up, so that you can come here and go, oh, wait a second. I've seen this before. And so I know that I can just come here and go through there. Okay. You meet a flighty jester. Okay. There's a jack. And this is a jack. Tell me about your job. To entertain. And your health. Unhappy. That seems significant. We should probably ask him about him. That. Entertain? Not now. Okay. Why are you unhappy? Because my friend Chuckles won't tell me a secret. And this is also another reason why I thought that we had to go and get a joke, because I thought we had to tell Chuckles the joke, and then Chuckles would divulge his secret. But when we went to Chuckles and we asked him about his secret, he didn't say anything, so there you go. Maybe what we need to do is we need to actually specifically ask Chuckles about Zajac. So I'm gonna make a connection, because Chuckles is someone we're going to see very soon, because we're just going to go to Castle Britain straight after this. No, that's a lie. I had a thing I wanted to show you today, and the only way we can do that is by going to the shrine north of Verity Isle. Zajac is in the Lyceum. Zajac wanted to get the secret from Chuckles. So we need to talk to Chuckles. And we know that Chuckles is in Castle Britain. We need to maybe ask him about the secret. But we don't know what's going to happen there. Oh, I have a thing about secrets. Okay. Okay. It wasn't about Chuckles, but I did need to check. Dost thou know Chuckles? We do, he asks. Because we've visited Chuckles before, so we haven't gotten anything out of him, but we do know of him now. Know of Chuckles? We are going to say, at this point we're going to say yes. Previously when we came through here, we didn't know where Chuckles was, so we said no. So yes. Why dost thou not ask him for his clue? Oh, that's actually interesting. He said, why dost thou not ask him for his clue? Because we tried secret arm chapels, but we didn't try clue. So I think that is what we need to do. So let's go back to connections. We need to actually ask about clue. Not secret. Okay. Lyceum. Okay. Chapels. Secret. Okay, that seems pretty good. So I'm gonna go on a 10-minute break very quickly, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna carry on playing. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave us in this conversation, which was Sir Jack, and when I come back, we'll break from this conversation and go and talk to other people. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, I am back. So, let's get out of this conversation with Zajac. I am John. Oh. Oh. Hey. Job. I got the throne room. I got the throne room. And your help? A bit tired. God. Room. Really? Okay, well, John is not helpful. I am gonna imagine that this guy over here is also not helpful. Yeah, because he's just John some more. Is this John again? Name. Oh, this is Catriona. Hold on, that's very funny. Hang on. Can we... Okay, so let's try and track Catriona. Catriona is here. If we go... I just want to make sure that Catriona is always visible to us. Oh, okay, there is only one Catriona, sure. I thought there were two. Okay. There's Katu. You meet a tall mage wearing strange armor. Name. And your job. I advise. And your health. Well, okay, tell me about your advice. Advise. Thou would be well advised to visit the sea often. Thou would be well advised to see it often. Okay, tell me about the seer. Okay. Sure. Bye. Tell me about your name. You meet a stately baron. They're Robert Frazier. And your job? I rule this province. Okay. Tell me about your health. Very well. Tell me about rule and province. My Lady Beth can tell thee more. Lady Beth. Okay, sure. Bye. You meet a charming lady. Name? She is Beth Frazier. Tell me about your job. I rules my lord. Tell me about your health. Well, tell me about ruling this province. Rule. And tell me about your lord. Okay, tell me about the province. Okay, so now they're going to ask us a question. Our people believe in truth. Our people believe in truth as a way of life. Live it to the fullest. Dost thou seek truth? We do, yes. Then may thou find it. Then may thou find it. Okay, so tell me about your people. Tell me about truth. Okay. Sure. I think we're done here. So I believe that this was the only spot that we needed to find that was hidden. And so we can get out of here. I think this is all of the castle that we've seen before. Oh wait, I lie, because we don't have these people on the right hand side. So let's just start here. I am a fighter. Name? They're just a fighter. Job. Not now. Help. Previous. Okay, so wounds. Wounds. Okay, so we do actually need to make a note. We asked about their wounds, and they said, I lost in a dungeon altar room. Altar. Hast thou seen one? No, we have never been far enough down in a dungeon to know what an altar room looks like. So, no. They say they connected the dungeons unto each other. That's interesting, because we didn't have this as a note before, but what that seems to imply is that there's a fast way to get from one dungeon to another. So if you go into a dungeon room, there's probably like 4 exits, and each exit that you choose, each exit that you take, probably leads you to another dungeon, but like at the bottom of that dungeon, I assume, and then you'd have to fight your way up or whatever. Or maybe it just dumps you at the beginning of that dungeon, I don't know. But sure, that's interesting. I'm gonna actually get this a couple of lines down, because it occurs to me now that we should probably ask this person their name and their job and all that again, because when they said that they're just unnamed fighter for their name, well, they didn't even say that. I just assumed they were going to be not useful, so their name is I'm a fighter, right? And their job is none now. And then we asked them about their health, and they said that my wounds are grievous. Grievous. And then when we asked about wounds, we got that whole spiel about they lost the dungeon altar room. Okay, so we should probably make a connection so that we know about this idea of the idea that the dungeon altar rooms are all connected together, because I don't think we're necessarily going to forget it once we see an altar room, because it will be clear as day at that point. But I do think it's worth putting it into the connections room, the connection sheet, so that we like remember about that. Okay, so let's get out of here, because we've asked about altar. Well, yeah, we've asked about altar and dungeon. Okay. You meet an engine warrior. Name. I'm a fighter. Oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the same thing. Name. Yeah, okay. Let's get out of here. And then let's talk to this guy. He says, I am Nigel, at thy service. So this was the first time where we made like an actual connection from one place to another place. And that was why I was saying yesterday, oh, you know what, I think that this specific island might be almost the best place to start the game, because it sets up so many things that are necessary to unravel the game. One of the things that it sets up is it sets up a short walk between one spot and another from Moonglow up to Lycaeum, where in Moonglow there's a guy who's dying and he tells you to go and find Nigel. And then when you go and find Nigel and you use the words that the other guy had told you to use, you get a coherent response out of him. And this is good because it ties together the idea that you're going to have connections between different people because they know each other, and you're going to have to ask them about those things that they're connected by. So it's a good teaching moment, and I think that's why this specific island is just, it's a wonderfully, like, short scripted base plan for the whole of the game. You can't do everything. I think this island would have benefited a little bit from having a shrine on the island. It would have benefited from having a dungeon on the island, and that would have made the tutorial complete, as it were. But as a first step in this game, this particular island, Verity Isle, feels exactly like the right place to start the game. Okay. Name. Job. I teach magical spells. Okay, and your health. Good enough. Tell me about teach. And spells. I have a specialty. Okay. Does not know what it is. And yeah, this is actually perfect because he's setting you up to say, hey, what is the specialty? And then this is how you can connect the two people together. Yes. What do I call the spell? And our response here is, I believe it's recall. I need to go look because... Oh, you know what? It's not actually going to be in my connections list. It isn't actually going to be in my connections list. Because I didn't write this down. We just made a very terrible assumption that I would remember way back when, which was a dumb assumption to actually make. And so... yeah, okay, so... I'm gonna have to very quickly look this up. Right, I remembered correctly, it was recall. I don't want to get this wrong because I don't want to have to go back to Moonglow just to get this done, so I was remembering rightly. It is recall. Recall. He says yes. Resurrection. It takes ginseng, garlic, silk, blood, moss, and mandrake. Oh, so actually missed a thing there because it needs ash. So it's ash, ginseng, garlic. So it's 3, silk, blood, moss, and mandrake. So it's 6. It doesn't, there's 8 reagents and it doesn't need 2 of them. It doesn't need a pull, and there's something else it doesn't need. But I believe that we transcribed this over to our spell reference because we have over here resurrect. And I did note that it was sulfurous ash, ginseng, garlic, silk, blood moss, and mandrake. So it's only missing nightshade, which makes sense. Nightshade is generally bad, and it's missing black pearl. So sure, that's fine. Okay, so we've got that, and that's fine. I need to make this connection. Did I ever do this? I did not. I didn't add in. Yeah, I 100% didn't add it in. Because we don't have notes for Moonglow in the connection sheet. Moonglow. Yeah, we don't have a connection between Shazam, which was the guy's name, and Nigel. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Your interest. Okay, so we're good. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So, he's going to split that out on us again. Ash, ginseng, garlic, sulk, blood moss, and mandrake. Bye. Now, I didn't necessarily think that he was going to tell us anything there, but I did think it was interesting and useful to actually question him about it. I don't think. Oh, okay, yeah. Bye. One thing we do need to do, yes. Okay. You meet up with a bull beggar. Name? Sherlock the Meek. No job. I sit and beg, oh please. And your health. I'm cold and sick. I'm cold and sick. Oh please. Okay. I don't. They're gonna ask us a question. Won't that help me? Oh please. Yes, we will. Oh please. Okay, so we're gonna give them money. Actually, before we give them money, let's start and talk about this. I don't really want to beg. Yes, please give me money. Please. Okay. Please. I realize that's sort of heartless to say, but everybody gamer says good day, Lostwolf. Hello, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's ask about cold and sick. I have the Black Plague. I have the Black Plague. It's interesting to see that the Black Plague is here too. The Black Plague really was something in the 13th century, 14th century. They didn't know what to do about it, so it killed lots and lots of people. And the thing is that statistically speaking, right, because what eventually sort of happened, but not properly, is there was like a modicum of eventually, but it took almost 100 years. It took almost 100 years for people to work up like basic immunity to it, and we're still not really immune to the Black Plague. If someone were to reintroduce the Black Plague and it had mutated, we would probably have the same situation all over again. It is actually, if you look up the statistics and you look at the number of people on the planet at the time, it was actually more dire. And it's a strange thing to think about in this way, but it was actually more dire because of the lack of science and because of the lack of knowledge about how disease worked and how it traveled. It was actually scarier than COVID because it killed like whole populations nearly and decimated them. So it's weird to see the Black Plague show up in Britain and Ultima here. Okay, so help and okay, so again, this is actually a perfect introduction to one of the other systems in the game. Here, it's making you read that it wants you to give money, which is a thing that we didn't actually know how to do for the longest time. If I'd just come here and had this conversation, we would have known this all along. But it wants us to give. Before we do that, plague. Okay. So we give. We're gonna give 99 because it's the most that we can. Oh, thank thee. I shall never forget thy kindness. Okay. Let's get out of here. Because I think that's the only person. Yeah. Okay. And if we go anywhere due south, we exit this area. So, alright. Yeah, this is fine. I don't really want this to be... Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna sleep. Alright, so we have our boat, which is here. We're gonna hop into our boat. We're gonna get out of here. So due north of this island, and we've seen this before actually, is because we could, I think, sort of just see it from the pinnacle of Verity Isle. There is a little island here up to the north. I'm just gonna make sure that we're on the right hand side of this here. And this is what I wanted to show you. Oh, we might not have been able to see it, sorry. I'm very confused. But over here, up in the sea channel, there's this island here. We've never been here before. I need to disembark at some point that's not too scary. Oh, okay. This might turn out to be an issue. Gross. Would one of you like... There we go. Oh, wait, you know what? I probably can't. Yes, there we go. Oh my god. Such torture. Please join me in knocking this person out. They are bad and should be gone. I keep forgetting I should have actually noted this specific string down when I saw it the last time, because this is the new string that they're using, but I did not, and so here we are. We get a scam bot. Go, get out of here. This is a bot that is running a scam to sell viewers. Okay. There you go. Done. Sorry you all had to see that. Get out of here. We just need to find like a reasonable place to disembark. This seems pretty good. So if we come out here, this is a place we've never been to before. Somewhere on this island. But we don't know where. There is a... There it is. There's the shrine. Okay. So here's what I wanted to show you a couple of sessions ago when we re-landed on Verity Isle. Well, it was one session ago because we started retracing our steps yesterday. So if you come into the shrine, right, and you meditate, you enter the ancient shrine and sit before the altar, upon which virtue dost thou meditate. Oh, I didn't ask me a question. So if you meditate for 1, right, thou art unable to focus thy thoughts on the subject. So what this probably is... Oh, we didn't pick a... Hold on. Let me get out of here. 1. The reason why we're not meditating right now is because we need to know which... runes we have. Right, so we got the Book and Horn as well. So we've got H, which is honesty, and J, which is justice, and H, which is... There's 2 with H. Where's the city list? It is probably humility and honesty. So we need to go for honesty, because we have the mantra for honesty, which is AHM. So we need to do this again. So it's enter. We want to go H, honesty, and we want to go for 1 cycle. Oh, you can just meditate. Okay, I thought you needed the mantra. No, you will need the mantra because it's going to ask it in a second. It will do the meditation and then it will ask you for the mantra. Mantra, AHM. Thy thoughts are pure, thou art gone to division. Take not the gold of others found in towns and castles, for yours it is not. And so this explicitly tells you what to do to get honesty. If you do this for 2 cycles, right? If we go back in and we say honesty, and we want to meditate for 2 cycles. Oh, really? Are you sure? The mind is still weary from the last meditation. But you can see that it quite explicitly told you what it expects you to do to get honesty done. If we sleep, maybe we are okay and we can do this. Honesty. We want to meditate for 2 seconds. Oh, okay, that mind is still weary from thy last meditation. And I don't know how you measure that. Like, there's no... Again, one of the things that doesn't thrill me about Ultima 4 specifically is how obfuscated it is. And it very much is a game of obfuscation. Because this is a stat, like maybe it's your intelligence or your MP or whatever, that should have dropped. We just don't know. It's a black box. How long we need to wait before we can do another meditation. But yeah, okay, so that was kind of what I wanted to show you. Because it gives you the idea that you can actually meditate for less than 3 cycles. Because that is sort of what we did when we did justice. Okay. Oh god. Let me get out of here. Exit. Give me that. Give me that. Let's go back up to... How do I get there? I want to go to Castle Britain. Because we went from Moonglow, if you recall, to Castle Britain. There's pause. Or Vesper, I should say, not pause. We can't go up here, this is Lake Lock, but we are stuck not being able to go through that water. Okay. We're just gonna... Oh no, sorry, that's not Lake Lock. That's one of the other lakes. Lake Lock is a little bit further along. Is it though? Hold on. Wait. I'm so puzzled. Because this doesn't actually look like... Oh, okay. I know where we are. It's fine. Everything's okay. Oh, the ship heals itself. I did not know that. So if we go around here, around this coast here, we just keep on going left. That's a little scary. Thank you. Yeah, this should be near Castle Britain. Let me just make sure. Yeah, if we go due south here and then we go west here, there should be like a little spot with a bridge, and then over yeah, it's Castle Britain. Okay, cool. Enter. Okay, so there's no one here. I just want to make sure. Okay, there's no one there. Let's get to Castle Britain. Let's do plus. Oh. Is there? There is not a store here. Oh, you know what's gonna happen in Moonglow? Moonglow is gonna be out of whack because... Oh, I did fix it. Okay. Okay. So, Castle Britain. Talk. I am God. We didn't make good notes here, so I'm just gonna start from scratch. Name? Job. I got the castle and all within. Okay. And your health. Couldn't be better. God. I got the castle. Okay. Castle. The castle is fair and strong. Okay. Do you seek Lord British? We do. We know where he is, but it's important to ask anyway. Yes. He is on the upper level in the throne room. Okay. And... I mean, I guess we can ask about fair and strong, but those don't make sense. Lord British. And then upper level throne room. Okay, cool. So that, I think, basically deals with that question. So if we talk to this guy, we're gonna get the same thing. So I'm just not going to do this. I think this is Chuckles. You meet the bouncing jester. Name? Yeah, there we go. Chuckles. Job. I'm the royal jester. And your health. Good, thanks. Well. And jester. Welcome unto the Castle Britannia. Onto the Castle Britannia. That's not Ank. Yes, we went and looked this up specifically the first time we came here because I didn't know if the game was going to understand, and I didn't remember that the game gave us an Ank at the very beginning. So the answer is yes, we do have an Ank. Yes. Then enter in peace. Okay. Castle. That I cannot help you with. Britannia. Ank. Peace. So when we met him, I'm just going to show you what happened. We asked about secret. He said that I cannot help thee with because we'd known at that point, because we only had 2 sheets. We had Moonglow, Lyceum, and Castle Britain. So when I went to Lyceum and we met the jester there, I just consulted with that spreadsheet, and it seemed to me that secret was the question to ask about, but no, the actual question is clue. Speaking unto the waters of the well, and ask of altars. So this is actually not a thing that we knew before. I don't know if there are wells in Castle Britain. That's the issue. And I don't know where he means, but we haven't actually seen it. I think that maybe he's referring to light. No, he's maybe referring to Moonglow, because Moonglow had well-like waters. They look like it to me anyway. And so we could maybe ask those. Okay, so Chuckles in Castle Britain. We do actually have this connection, I believe. We do not, because I mentioned Britain, but I didn't mention Castle Britain. So sure, let's actually just add it in. Okay, so Chuckles. Oh, somewhere I've already made a note about Chuckles. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Of course, because I had added in Sajak before. So the actual word we needed was clue. And I'm going to yank out my note about what to remember to ask him, because I had remembered to ask about clue, not secret. Castle Britain. He says, clue, speaking unto the waters the well, and asked about the altars. So let's add it into connections, because that's now done. Although I say that, we probably need to add in another row here, because we need to, well, we don't know where the well is. We do know we need to ask about altars. We don't know what we're going to get. We don't know where the well is. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's come back here. Okay, so waters. Well, waters. Okay, sure. That's more information than we had before, so I'm actually okay with this. Name, job. Yeah, okay. Gonna be the same guy. Oh, you know what? This is an Ankh. This 100% is an Ankh. And I think this is what Chuckles is talking about. So if we go and we talk here. Oh, interesting. Talk. Oh, interesting. I thought that would be exactly it. I'm just gonna make sure that it is none of these. Okay, so we know from experience, if we go here, we meet up with Hawkwind. There's nothing to do here with Hawkwind other than to ask about the virtues, so I'm going to skip talking to Hawkwind. If we talk here, you meet a bodyguard. Name, job. Yeah, fine. Let's check for hidden rooms. In fact, you know what we should do? We should check for hidden rooms here. Okay, there aren't any. I'm gonna go to the right. We know from previous experience that left is up and up is toward the up is toward the upper level of the castle. So here, so remember I was saying one of the things that's important about the telescope is that it teaches you that there are hidden walls. It teaches you that specifically there are hidden areas. But if you're here and the guard is there, you can actually see the guard, and that gives the game away. So if we go here, because you can see through the wall. So if we go up here, we can see that there's a hidden wall here. There's a hidden wall here. And this takes us outside the castle. Right, cool. This is not a person we knew about before, so this is great, actually. This is Joshua. Name. Job. I can help. Okay. How is your health? Well, how can you help? The riddle. What is the riddle? If the 8 philosophies of Avatarhood combine into and are made from truth, love, and courage, if the 8 philosophies of Avatarhood combine into and are made out of and are made from truth, love, and courage. Let me just check very quickly. Yes, we've got the principles listed as truth, love, and courage. This guy is affirming what we already know. So this is great, actually. More? Yes. What one thing creates and is created by all truths, all love, and all courage? We don't know the answer to this yet, but I think that the answer is just maybe being the avatar or perfection or something very like that. Avatar. Yeah, okay. So I think one of the things that's going to happen is we're going to have to solve this riddle for the end of the game. Okay, there's a lot in here. So, philosophy, avatar, truth, love, courage. Okay, sure. We can't actually answer this yet, but that's good to know that he is here and he is giving us this piece of information. Is there anyone here? No. Okay. Let's go back in here. It looks like there's another room. Oh, there's just another set of stairs here. I don't think we knew about the set of stairs. This is climb to the second floor. Okay. Did we know about this? I think we did not, because these doors were both locked. And we did try coming in here. So let's talk to this guy. Name, job. I got a castle and my liege. God, job. I am my liege. Okay, God. A god must be a valiant warrior. Art thou the most valiant warrior? We are not. We have fled during the course of this game, so we're going to say no. No. Still flee not from battles. Okay. Castle. Liege. I serve Lord British. Okay. Okay. Alien? Why? Battle. Lord British. Okay, that seems pretty good. I'm gonna get us out of here. Descend. Let's go out here. And then tomorrow we will just finish this off. But we've already got like much more information than we ever did in our first pass, so I'm quite happy with that. So it's been a very productive day today. Alright, so let me show you what I did and what's my homework. Because we always have to look at the spreadsheet afterwards. So we finished up Moonglow. We went and walked up to the Lyceum. We got the rest of the Lyceum done because we were... Oh no, we actually started this because we didn't have any of this because I removed this entire part of the spreadsheet. This used to live in the Moonglow part of the spreadsheet, but I've taken it out now, and it's got its own separate screen with its own separate questions and answers. Well, I'm also trying to document now where we know that there are hidden walls, so I'm gonna have to actually add that in here. There is a hidden wall. It takes us to Joshua, who gives us the riddle. There might be more than one hidden room in here, and that's okay, because we'll just make a note of this whenever we need to. But yeah, that's really about all I've done today. I haven't amended the map at all, so there's nothing to show for that. But yeah, it's been very productive. I will see you tomorrow. Same time, more or less the same time, more or less the same place. And we will play some more Ultima 4. Once we have done with... Because I'm going to make sure that we go through all of the... We've got proper notes past Britain. And so tomorrow is the last day that we're going to be retracing our steps. And once we've done that, what I'm going to start doing is we're going to go to, in order of the places that we encountered, I'm going to go to each place in turn. I'm going to see if we can find hidden walls, and if we can find hidden walls, cool, we'll just mark them down. If we can't find hidden walls, great, nothing to do there. But after that, and it might take a stream or so just to go through all the places to find hidden walls. After we've done that, the next thing I want to start doing is I want to start trying dungeons. We have 3 runes, which is a bit of a problem because we need 4. And we know that there's one more on the overworld somewhere, right? Because we've been told by people in the overworld that there is at least one more rune that we can collect in the overworld. So that would give us 4, and that would probably start us off on being able to complete dungeons. So I think that's the next big thing that we need to get done. But today was productive. I enjoyed it. It was very laid back. Thank you to Gabriel Gamer and Peru591 for saying hello and talking. I appreciate it. Oh, yes. I have added more to the Ultima 4 spreadsheet. Ultima 4 playlist on YouTube. There is enough there now that very soon, probably once I hit the 10th upload, I will start feeling comfortable because I'm going to go pretty fast. I'm going to upload 3 things at a time. I feel comfortable opening that up to the public. So by tomorrow there should be another, you've seen that I have automated messages that go up on the stream. There should be an automated message that tells you where you can find the new YouTube channel that just has archives of the games. Now at the moment, there really are just archives of Ultima 4, so if you've missed anything you can go back and watch that. But I'm going to start, once we've gotten through the uploads for Ultima 4, I'm going to start populating it with all the entries from games of yore all the way back to 2015. So there will start being other things to watch soonish. Like maybe what I'll try and do if I have my computer, because I'm thinking about taking the computer in to get cleaned when I'm gone for 10 days. When I have my computer back, what I'll start doing, I won't stream necessarily, but what I'll start doing is I'll start uploading stuff for people to watch on the YouTube channel. So there'll always be, if you want to listen to my voice, there'll always be some of that around. Okay, Peru591 says, it's been great. It has been. I genuinely, I mean, I know I'm a little down on Ultima 4 because it's too much of it, but it is a very relaxing game to play. Even when we were playing, and we played so much of Marvel's Midnight Suns, even when I was playing Marvel's Midnight Suns, it didn't feel nearly as laid back as this game has been feeling. So, yeah. Alright. Probably good night. I'll see you all soon. Please be safe. Have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.